Welcome to the 31st Capital of Texas Open, brought to you by Mint DISCS. This is going to be the first A tier in the Austin city limits. It's going to be the 31st Capital of Texas Open. So today we're bringing you at the Met Center, Austin, Texas, designed by John Houck and Mike Michaels. This course plays pretty tough. It's going to be tons of par fours, a lot of placement shots, a lot of demanding par threes. We're going to get into it with the leader right now, Seth Talbott out of Lake Jackson, Texas, representing Lone Star Discs and CycleWorks. Pretty much, Seth is an all-around player. He knows how to throw the backhand and the forehand really well, putts really well in the circle, kind of all-around player. Next up, we got John Willis. He is out of Tyler, Texas, representing Millennium Discs. He is a wood specialist, kind of a funky guy here, has a lot of personality. He's definitely going to be throwing pretty far. And then we got, of course, Fredy Meza, Hala Hala, representing Mint Discs, Lucky Ace. Got that cool stamp right there. Got the Mexico stamp, always representing. Then, of course, we got the guy to my right here, Tanner McCartney, looking fresh with the pink and blue bubblegum hat, representing Mint and Lucky Ace as well. So we're gonna get started here with our first hole.
Hole one, it is a 645-foot par 4. You got a fence line on your right, that's OB. You've got to push straight and get left. Otherwise, you don't really have a whole lot of looks at getting a birdie. So, yeah, let's see what these players do to start off the tournament.
Yeah, Seth's sitting at 19 down right now. He's going to be leading us off on the first hole.
He's leading by a handful. Freddie's 11 down after that, and then myself is 11 down as well, and John's 10 down. So Seth's got a good little cushion coming into this final day.
Yep. Right now, I think he's throwing a warbird right here.
Just getting left. That's all you got to do, really.
Yep.
It's a pretty safe shot.
Pretty good shot. Yeah, you definitely want to get about 350 on the initial tee shot.
Mr. Fredy Meza.
Seth actually, the day before this, shot the course record and took it from me with a 13 down, which I think was 1070 rated, maybe.
Sound a little sour about that, Tanner.
No sourness.
Next on the box.
Good shot by Fredy. He's going to be an ideal spot.
Had to rock the bubblegum hat today. It was a special day.
Yeah, that's a rare one out of Mint. Not too many people have that one. Surprised you have it.
Me too. Shout out to Guy hooking me up. Had to make sure I looked good on my first A tier, first lead card A tier.
Shot's looking good. Might be in a little too low. Probably a little too right. Yeah, didn't get the exact fade.
It was a little windy. I think we had maybe like a left to right wind, so it was keeping the discs from fading.
Yeah.
So you had to throw pretty overstable to get left.
Definitely. John here.
He's a smooth player. Doesn't have his run up is very slow, really compact.
Yeah, has a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine he's throwing some type of Scorp here.
Yeah.
Scorpius.
He was throwing the Scorpius a lot. That's, I think, probably pretty prime time.
Yeah, that is ideal.
Here we go.
And they're getting started here. We got a little gallery here following the lead card.
I'm 9 back from, or 8 back from first place, so I'm trying to play aggressive all weekend. I'm kind of pinched off on the right side. I'm just trying to thread the needle down this right side, which probably most people won't do. And
yeah. The right side definitely has some gaps, not as wide open as where Fredy is here.
Yeah.
Fredy gives him the option, right where Fredy is, he gives the option of the forehand or this backhand.
It gives you just options
yes.
when you're left off the tee, and that is Fredy's.
Ideal. Yeah, that's Fredy's.
Yeah, second place Fredy is a scary Fredy. You don't want to be leading a tournament with Fredy on your butt. That's scary.
Well, third card at Fredy is even scary, so
That's
it's proven that.
it's true. Seth, not a surprise. He's just making it look easy. John in prime time. Get in.
Oh
my
my
goodness.
Wow.
He was way up there. He just threw a baby putter shot.
Yeah, that's probably
He
the
was
furthest
crushed.
I've seen anybody
Yeah,
up
that's really
there.
far.
If you're just throwing a straight shot like that
Mhm.
here, that's more than ideal.
Maybe 25 feet,
Ooh.
23 feet.
Catch is left.
That's-
Good catch basket.
Yeah, that's a great catch.
Little
basket.
bit of nerves, I imagine,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the first A-tier lead card you've been on,
Yeah.
and it's filmed. What's that going on? What's going
Yeah,
through the
no.
mind?
First couple holes are definitely definitely some nerves, but I feel like it's not any different than a gallery. I feel like that's how you gotta kind of see it. You just gotta roll with it. Playing with Barsby the first round, I think, got all my nerves out of me after that first round. So
Yeah,
it wasn't too bad.
Unfortunately, Barsby had a DNF due to an injury, but
Yeah, that's a bummer that he didn't get to play all 3 rounds. But hole 2, par 4, 649 feet. Right where those 2 double trees are in the middle, you want to either push past those on the right side or left side. Really, you just want to push forward as far as you can with a little bit of fade at the end, and then you have water left of the basket and OB. Yeah, you'll see Seth. Yeah, going on the inside. That's pretty ideal. You just got to kind of hope you don't get pushed up next to one of those trees.
yeah, I imagine it was just a touch more inside than what he wanted,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think he can make it work from
I think
there.
that's more what most people with the bigger arms are going to do. They're going to go up for that right side gap,
Yeah.
and just kind of play more of a pushing hyzer or a slight flip up hyzer.
Yeah. Here you're
yeah.
getting a nice flat and straight.
Flip up.
That's gonna be just
That's-
fine.
Yeah, that's pretty far up there.
Yeah, that opens up the more of the left side. You don't have to play with the trees
Mhm.
on the left, and
Yeah.
the OB is left as much. So that's pretty good.
John, just
Very short run up, but a lot of power.
right where you need to be.
Yeah, right next to Fredy.
Yeah, so all this long grass you can see kind of right in front or just to the left is out of bounds. And you can see the shortcut grass. Pretty much John is just following the fairway. You got to be just left of those trees that he hit. But you do have OB far right, and then that long grass right in front where
Yeah.
Fredy is just thrown over.
And where Fredy is going is pretty ideal, but you do have the pond right behind it, so you can't.
You can't fade too much.
Yeah,
And
and,
you-
you can't overpower just because that OB is there. So that definitely makes you throw a lot shorter than what you
Mhm.
actually want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going Firebird. Normally I go distance driver, but I'm normally further back. Some of that tournament power was happening a lot this round especially, but
Yeah.
all tournament, and I was finding myself some positions that I haven't really been in, and that was just one of those things where you don't know what to throw.
Tournament power is a real thing.
Yeah.
That is, it gives you about 10 to 15% extra power, and sometimes you end
Yeah.
up in like
Even
some
when it, yeah.
spots you're like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
I like it here, but what do I do?
Yeah, absolutely. Seth, that's a really good shot for. That's a standstill pinned up against the tree.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yep. Leaves himself good birdie opportunity. John going up for the par, gives himself a chance, maybe outside the circle, but just fine.
Yeah, I'm outside, trying to give this one a little half run,
And that's a hard a
Yeah.
hard run because OB, where the group of guys are saying now, that is OB.
Yeah, I'm flirting with it. I think I was on the line or a couple inches off. Yeah, we'll see it right here. I am
Yeah.
inches inbounds though, so I'm able to take my meter
the group giving you
Yeah,
a good look
yeah,
at
they're
it.
looking at it.
Gave you the heads up.
That's what makes that approach shot so hard. Is it's 20 feet to the left of the basket. So if you're throwing a backhand, I mean, your disc is going to want to fade at the end. So
Yeah.
it makes it a little tougher.
Yeah, and you're from the area, so you play this course quite a bit,
Oh, no.
but you know, it's a lot different when you actually have a painted line there other than just not throwing in the water.
Absolutely, yeah. Yep, everybody.
John with a very unique putt though. He has a kind of
Yeah.
a sword, I call it a sword putt. Comes from your left hip and you
Mhm.
put it on the right side of your body. But it's working for him.
Yeah, no, it works really well. I think that's yeah, I think that's a style that a lot of people do like. I think it keeps your elbow more in line with your target and you aren't moving it.
Yeah. And if you come from a windy place like Tyler, you need to be able to create some type of spin.
Yeah.
And that's another way of doing that.
Yeah. Hole 3, par 3, 289 feet. We got a Piggy Island. This is the money hole. You just want to get it in the island. Really, you got a lot of room long past the basket. So that's kind of what most people are doing, is they're just trying to throw it long.
Oh no.
And
Seth.
yeah, Seth, that is not what you would expect.
No, I was expecting actually a hyzer out of him.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
does have a great forehand play.
But so Fredy,
But-
you'll see
This is a lot easier, I think, right now, especially with the island, the way it is shaped.
it is. Fredy throws a good shot. I'm trying to remember what wind we had. I think it was a left to right, which was keeping the backhand hyzer from fading in,
Yes.
which is what you kind of see here. They all just keep dropping.
Yep. Looks, wow. He gets past the signs.
Yep.
Gets very lucky. He, 6 more inches just short.
Yeah.
He's not in the island.
Yeah.
Putting from the drop zone, which is very demanding. You're looking at about 45 feet.
I'm going soft profit. I felt like I had to pay my dues to the piggies,
Yeah.
I had to
Piggy for piggy.
piggy for piggy. And look at that,
Oh,
through the sign.
through the sign.
That's just piggy
Paid
love.
off.
That's piggy love,
It saw what it was, accepted it, let you in.
Just trying to put my piggy in the bank, Seth going to the drop zone, misses the putt. Oh, that's
And that putt is hard to run because how close the basket is to the water.
normally just
any-
based off your spin of the putt. It normally, when it lands, it pulls it over to the water. So that's
Exactly. And that wind isn't helping either.
yep. John with a absolute death putt. Look at that wind, just slapped it down.
Yep. Hits the koozie. Probably tough to commit to that. He's probably not worried about taking a par here, getting a stroke on Seth.
Hmm.
You're getting 2 on Seth, though, with a solid putt.
Yeah, that one felt good. A little bit of a death putt there, especially after airballing that last one on the last hole.
Definitely.
Fredy,
Fredy, no
No.
fear.
yeah. Nothing new for Fredy, just another day. Seth,
Seth squeaking it in.
yep.
He's laughing about it. He knew that was he got away with one there.
And John, probably not super happy with taking a 3 on that and making the island. If you make the island, you want the 2.
Definitely.
Hole 4, this is definitely a tough one. 543 feet. You're going down a tunnel. You are slight tail to the right, almost the entire way. You have creek on the right. That's OB. Not just the water, but the OB plays up a couple feet from the water. And then you got trees on the left, and then it almost goes into like a little baby island peninsula. So ideally, you're throwing a straight shot down the fairway, and you're throwing some sort of putter across the island if you're far enough. Let's see what Fredy's going. I think he's going distance driver on this hole, which is really surprising. But he pimps that shot.
Yeah, I believe he went katana there, and he's able to put that so flat, able to get the
Yep.
whole shape of the fairway, then get the fade back with that distance driver stability. This is definitely one of my favorite holes on the course. It's just a good tee shot
Such a good hole.
and such a great demanding upshot to get on that island. But
Oh, you have the Mando too. I forgot to say that. You have the Mando, so you can't go right.
yeah,
You
can't
have
go
to
big
play the
hyzer.
turnover, or Some people opt for like a flip-up sidearm, but you have to have a really good sidearm.
Yep. The stability of the backhand of the disc is the better play because you can fight it, comes back a little bit, lands exactly where Seth is.
So
John is taking the OB route essentially.
Yeah,
if he doesn't make the island, he is pretty much rethrowing from exactly where he is.
But that's a tough shot. That was probably at least 340 feet or so. And I think he just kind of was throwing it. If he went out of bounds, at least he was right by the basket and he could tap in for his circle 4.
So with John throwing OB there, throwing into the creek, you can retrieve these, but do you have any type of attachment to certain discs that you would hate to lose?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Almost all my discs I feel like I'm attached to, but luckily this creek is, I don't know, maybe a foot deep and pretty clear, so you're not really gonna lose it.
No, yeah, you definitely, but that's something, these creek shots and these water shots that this,
definitely something that comes into players' heads.
For sure.
You don't want to lose something. Sometimes you can just lose something, goes under dirt, and you can't see it, and now you're stuck without that disc. So.
Yeah, and especially if it's an approach disc that you're comfortable with and you're using all day, that can change up your whole game plan on what you're doing with the round.
There he goes. He probably did exactly what that's good. He missed early and scrambled and took his 4.
Yeah, he's taking a par. Didn't lose anything on to the course, but to the card here, he's definitely taking some strokes.
Yeah, pretty solid hole there for everybody. Hole 5, another par 4, 654 feet. You can see the flags, all that little creek that winds through this hole is OB. You want to push something straight, maybe a little bit of fade at the end, or a lot of people opt for a big hyzer on the right side just to kind of miss all this. You don't have to worry about the OB, and you at least, for the most part, guarantee yourself a 4. I think that's what we see from a couple people here. Depends on the wind too. I think again we had that left to right wind, so it was keeping the hyzers from pushing back. So I think a lot of people, I think we all actually go up the middle, which normally is not the case.
Yeah, Fredy, being from the Conroe area, he plays a lot of wooded courses, and this type of shot is pretty much wide open for him.
Seth is also in the Houston area, and throws the exact same shot. Yeah, I normally go for the hyzer. I don't think I practice this shot really. But
no, I've definitely seen you take the hyzer route more than often.
Yeah. Just flipped that over just a little bit too much. That left to right wind caught it, pushed it over.
There is another gap, big Anheuser flex.
I'm surprised Fredy didn't go for it.
Me too.
That's a shot that he's really good with those flex shots. John pimps his drive. That's a great shot. I am the furthest back, I think. And you probably got, for me, God, I'm probably 360 from the basket or so, 350.
Looks like you're going alpha here.
Sublime alpha. Trying to get it on the right side. Just let it fade back.
Yeah, and that hill, most of that grass is on that hillside. So if you hit that, you're pretty much just Velcro to that. Yeah. So you have to hit the base of that hill or just left of it to get to that skip towards the basket.
Seth going, I think he's going Firebird. He was throwing, I think he's throwing this pink Firebird, which is what he throws a lot today. Yep. He goes way long. You can't tell from from where his lie was, but he goes 40, 45 long.
Oh, wow. Yeah, here, this is that Velcro grass I'm talking about. You just do not get that skip. And it pretty much just leaves you right where you land.
We just got a surprise fan question that just came in. And the question is, any trash talk this round, mind games, Or is that even a thing? There wasn't a whole lot of trash talk. Mind games, maybe.
Good run.
But everybody here it's good vibes the whole round. Everybody's trying to just play off of each other. Yeah, I mean it was a pretty smooth sailing round. Nothing too crazy. Everybody here just likes a good time and likes seeing some good golf.
Yeah, and I think definitely there are some golfers that do that. That was a great putt. But
Yeah.
there are some golfers that do that, have that mind game mentality, which is a part of golf. You know, the greats have always done it. I've heard Tiger having great trash talk.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan have dirty talk.
Yeah, you just gotta have those little jabs every now and then.
You know, but even if you don't even say anything, players do it by if someone's charging on them, and if that person that's charging tends to make a little slip up, the person that's leading, they can just dial in and just throw a great shot, park a hole, and that's trash talking on its own.
Yeah.
You know, that sets a tone on what you're meaning to do out here, what you're wanting to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Hole 6, 574. We are playing this one from the short box for this tournament. It is still a pretty challenging hole, super wooded. Most people opt for a flex sidearm and try to get pretty much to this gap right here. And once you get here, you're throwing maybe a putter or a mid-range for most pros, or maybe a mid-range or fairway for the smaller arms. And yeah, you're gonna see Seth here try to flex something over.
Yeah,
and
this one is actually in a longer position than normal.
Yes.
This got pushed back, I would say, about 60, 70 feet than what the locals are usually playing, and it's actually raised up about a foot.
Yeah, which was a great touch, because you can see Fredy from the short pad on a really great sidearm. You're way out there, so pushing that back makes that second shot a little bit tougher.
Yeah, and we've lost a couple trees here on this hole, so adding that extra distance just actually gives that element back of difficulty.
Yeah. That's just a little low for me. A good line, but you just want a little bit more height to get that fade and skip at the end. John's got a pretty solid sidearm. He sneaks through a little early.
Yeah, being right is
not good. You do not want to be right.
If anything, if you can be just slightly left but right, you have to deal with all
this is
of
where you are when you're right. Seth had that tree and kicked right, so he's a little bit further than what you would expect, and I'm so surprised that he did this.
That's the only way out.
And he moved up about 10 feet. He
No.
had a line to pitch back out kind of towards us.
Had to try it though.
Yes, yeah, he said
He tried, though.
He had to try. He had to try. So he advances another 15 feet, and it's probably almost worse than what he is before. Now he's just knee deep and kind of has to commit to trying to get out. And again, he hits another tree, and has only advanced maybe 50 feet in 2 throws.
And that's the fault of forcing something. You know, sometimes when you do have the pressure of wanting to get up and down, you try to force something, makes it end up worse for you.
John kind of just gets out. That's all you need. I'm going Royal Mustang.
Oh yeah, good play.
Yeah, it's like went a little bit further than I wanted to, but it's
in putting zone.
yeah, it's in the putting zone. That's right where you want to be. Yeah, I'm not too upset with that. Seth back in the same position.
Yeah, it looks like he
Forehand roller
shot
gets
from the exact same spot.
all the way out, but he goes
towards the creek.
He goes over the creek, ramps over the creek into out of bounds. So now he's throwing. I don't know what he's throwing. He's taking a big number here.
Yeah,
Which is
pretty much on one of the easiest par 4s on the course today.
Yeah.
You're not wanting to take a number more than par.
Yeah, especially on lead card, but he has that good cushion. So as long as this is his only
Sean
one.
running it.
Oh my goodness.
That was close.
Smooth, great shot. So we'll see where. Yeah, Seth's taking
taking his inbound, his meter.
And even from here, he doesn't really have a good look. I mean, yeah, that's. And
No, and he doesn't give
he's-
himself
yeah,
another
he's like maybe
great
15
shot. He's
15,
actually
20 feet.
pinched under that
Yeah, look
tree
at that. It's still him.
with the raised basket. So that makes that actually that low limbs even harder to get under. Does work though.
I think he took an 8,
Yeah.
which is, and I'm sitting here for my 3. Freddie's sitting here for his 3. I think John is sitting here for his 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a
It's a
lot.
lot of strokes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot you're losing right there. So that one felt a little good to feel like you get a little edge on him. Yep, John tapping in.
And once again, John probably happy with getting some strokes, but you know he could have gained one more extra on Seth.
Yeah,
Same with the island.
yeah. Hole 7, another par 4, 732 feet. You see the signs, everything left of those is OB. You got water on the right side or very far right. You're trying to get down maybe ideally around 430 feet. And then you got another 300 or so feet up to the basket. Basket's right on the middle of a mound.
But you're throwing over OB pretty much this
First shot, yes, is going. You have to get it up. It doesn't look windy, but it is pretty windy right now.
Yeah, for the most
Maybe
time
15.
you're getting a headwind on this hole.
Maybe 10 to 15 miles per hour. But yeah, Fredy throws a great shot. Just gets it out there, pretty much right where you want to be. I'm going destroyer here.
Yep. Yeah, you definitely want to keep it low line just to get that penetrating forward.
Yeah, just to fight the wind a little
yeah.
bit too.
Yeah, you get it nose up, you get it actually nose down too much. You won't get the distance, and then if you get nose up, you actually might hyzer OB.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see John here. He's
Little
flirting with
early
it,
release.
And see, that's what, it's so easy to do that on this hole,
Yeah.
especially with the way the tee pad's shaped or where it's pointing. You kind of have to like
Force yourself to
force
come
yourself
across.
to throw right, because where the tee pad's aiming is exactly what John would do. Like that was
Yeah.
the shot that he was lining up. That's how the tee pad lines up. So you got to kind of, change your run up a little bit.
Yeah, you definitely have to come across the pad
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah,
with the pad.
John throwing a spike hyzer, and oh my, that is
Ideal.
yeah. He almost threw that in. That was. Look at that
Oh,
roll.
getting a little action
But
on
see,
the
that's-
hillside.
That's where this hole is so hard. It's the approach shot. To get the approach shot to stick.
You want to be short of the skipping into the hillside rather
Yeah.
than landing on the hillside. That's definitely the play.
Oh, come on.
I think I'm going soft bobcat, and it just didn't fade as much as I wanted it to.
Oh my God. Be an A2 for once. Not.
I'm getting sneaky there, flirting with the OB. That OB or that concrete drain is out of bounds.
Yep. And what Freddie's doing here, exactly what I said, skipping before
Yeah,
that ledge
that's what
and
you
then
wanna
getting
do.
up there. Because that skip is just going to carry you up the hill, leave you a nice little 8-footer.
Yeah.
Freddie's got.
Seth
Seth
was just not
taking
even
his
messing with it.
medicine. He took a big number on the last hole. Not happy about not getting the bounce back, but I think he'll be okay. John running it though. He's going to be just as far as he was on this
Yeah.
last putt, just on the other side.
I think everybody on this card is not playing for second place. Everybody still wants to chase down that first place. So I think everybody is just pedal to the metal.
Yeah. First A tier in Austin. Everybody wants that, to have that name under their
Yeah.
belt, That's high honors.
John with the comebacker.
Sword.
Oh, what a good putt. That is, you see the basket's tilted towards him, so a lot of times that putt kind of bounces right back at you.
Yeah.
Fredy with
tap
another
in.
birdie.
Yeah.
He's gotten every single hole except one. I think he missed hole 5.
Yeah, he missed all 5.
But he's on a little heater. The front nine is not, you don't birdie every single hole in the front nine. You don't do that. So
No.
with Fredy being where he's at right now, he's in a good spot. He's putting some pressure on Seth. Hole 8, this is another par 4, 570 feet. You have multiple options. You can go sidearm here, like a sidearm hyzer. You can kind of turn something over and let it flex back at the end. Really just something that's going to get out about 350 feet or so in the middle of the fairway. Then you're throwing around this corner. OB on your far right with water, and then the long grass on the left side is out of bounds. We're actually throwing over OB right now until we get, you can see the short pad up a little bit ahead. That's right where you technically come into bounds. So,
Yep. Where Freddie's going, that's pretty ideal. He can set himself up for a good flick approach for where he's at. If you're strictly a backhand player, you definitely want to be more left near hugging those trees.
Yes.
To give yourself more of a straight approach.
Yep.
Here looks like getting over on it just a touch. A
That's-
little bit more right than Freddie, but you know, gives
Yeah.
yourself another maybe forehand approach there.
Yeah, I would say if you're any further right from Fredy, it's almost makes it a little bit harder.
Yes, definitely.
And
Seth leaking this one left.
Yeah, see, you
a
don't
little
wanna
early.
you want to be inside those dead
Oh.
trees, and see, there you go. That's how quick the OB on the left can pop into play.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to be just right or just left of those trees to be in the ideal.
John throwing, that's textbook.
Yep. Just right of
That
those
is
trees.
that's so good.
Leaves you both a backhand and a forehand option, whatever you're feeling comfortable with. Freddie having to go forehand here.
Yeah, that's a common play if you're on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
He almost goes OB long. Just behind the basket, about 15, 20 feet, kind of on the right side, there's water. So you don't want to go too far right.
Yeah, that creek plays pretty much the whole course. That's going to be what you're fighting against this whole round.
Yeah.
Is that OB creek. You leave yourself about a 35-footer there.
Seth,
You had to get it a little bit higher than Freddie just to get right.
yeah, out of bounds. That's so fast.
That,
Oh, my
no,
goodness.
that was going OB.
That,
Folks, that was the best glorified miss he can make.
I don't know if he was trying to do that, but
You can
That
tell,
is
but I
so-
play with Seth a good amount. You know,
that is so.
he's
think-
happy he got away with that.
I mean,
that's not what he was going
If he
for.
missed the basket, he would have been OB by a long shot, and that even would have. That's another bogey for him at best if he makes that putt. Freddie's looking at probably close to a 2. I mean, that's a big swing right there, and that would put Freddie, you know,
within a stroke, if not tied.
See,
with
like I missed that putt and I roll out of bounds. That's how close the water is.
and that's about eighth of the speed of Seth's drive.
And that's a-
shot was. And you went OB.
That's
He
a-
was going
I got big
flying
putted.
OB.
I got big putted.
He got big
I got
putted.
big putted.
He got big putted.
'Cause I was sitting there thinking.
Freddie didn't.
I was sitting there thinking, cool, I'm getting another 1 or 2 strokes on Seth.
Yep.
And then he just slams it in your face like that. There's not much you can do. He's just, when you're playing hot, and he's clutching up in all the right moments right now.
So, we got another fan question here. Everybody's wondering about Freddie's putt. What do you think is about his putt that he's able to bring so much power and speed on it, but he's kind of just sitting there and just looks like he's just flinging his wrist towards the basket? What do you think about his breakdown on that?
He does a really good. I mean, he puts a lot of spin on the disc without putting an insane amount of power, so the disc stays up, but it's not zooming past the basket.
Yeah.
And he has such good spin control.
Yeah, he has good nose control as well.
Yeah, his nose control is absolutely dialed.
Because a lot of putters that putt like that, they can easily go down and they're just hitting that koozie all day.
Yeah.
He's able to just keep it flat, right above the rim. That's his
Yeah,
zone.
it's a sweet
is right
spot.
above the rim.
Absolutely.
Not bad.
This little par 3 here, pretty much one of
It's a
the
gimme.
few gimmies. You're not looking to take par on this one. You're definitely looking to bird this
You are
one.
not looking to take par. Absolutely not.
You know, this is the one you want to getting into the back 9.
Yeah.
setting a pace because the back nine is definitely more attackable than this front half.
Yeah, for sure. This is starting on the last hole. You want to birdie these next couple holes for sure.
Yes.
The first round, I hit this first available tree, and I threw it in for the two.
For the two. Oh my.
It was so gnarly.
So you had a Seth moment. Were you going
I had a
for
Seth
it?
moment. I was actually.
Nice.
I sat there. I never ever think to run things, and for this my last second thought was
Just run it.
just throw it in.
Because it's not.
And I jammed it.
It's not any one you want to run either because.
But it's one you don't want to miss either.
You don't want to miss. But
don't
there
wanna
is
miss it.
OB.
Yep.
Just deep.
Just long.
So running it, you're potentially losing another stroke or two.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, there it is. All twos, I think, and every single two was within 15, 20 feet or so.
Yeah.
This is one, I mean, unless you're a forehand dominant player, should be a no-brainer every single time.
You're looking at the easiest hole on the course.
Yeah.
So
Just a stock hyzer.
yeah,
So that wraps it up for the
front nine. Yeah, right now we still have Seth at 21 under, Fredy breaking it all the way down to 19, just shredding the
He has only
course.
missed one hole on the front nine, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's with Seth throwing in some things in from pretty far. Tanner, you're looking at 13 down. John, 12 down, right? So y'all are kind of battling it out. Fredy and Seth battling it out. So this back nine is going to be interesting. See if Fredy can keep up the momentum. See if Seth can handle the pressure of Fredy right on his back heels.
Yeah,
So
it'll be an exciting watch.
It's going to be fun to watch, man. See you on the back nine, guys. Thank you.